Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olubibi Emeka, and if this is your first time seeing my beautiful face, I believe that you don't want it to be your last time. So go ahead and click on the subscribe button and also turn on your post notification so that you are notified whenever I make a post. But if you're a returning subscriber, how are you doing, friend? Today I want to talk about a topic that is really sensitive. I want to talk about self-perception, right? One of the things that I struggled with growing up was self-perception, the wrong self-perception actually, right? I didn't exactly have the right perception about myself, and it hindered or limited the level of expression I gave to myself as a young girl. Now, self-perception is simply the way you see yourself. It's simply the way you perceive yourself, your feelings, your thoughts towards yourself. Self-perception basically encompasses self-image, self-belief, self-esteem. Just a summary of all these things is self-perception. I also need you to understand that self-perception is a product of a lot of factors. You have environmental factors, you have, nurture factors, maybe the way you were raised in your home, maybe you went through a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of childhood trauma. So of course it's going to affect you as an adult. And then you notice that the way you see yourself is pretty negative. Someone like me, I wasn't really chosen so much as a child, and it made me see myself in a different way. I thought I wasn't important. I thought I wasn't, that girl. I was that child that was screaming to be seen, like me. Even in my primary school, maybe for certain activities, they wouldn't choose me. I wasn't that girl that would come to mind. Do you get what I mean? So it would always make me feel like I needed to do extra to impress my parents, impress anybody around me. And that put me in a box. And it led to self-rejection. It led to me feeling rejected. It led to me feeling jealous of every other young girl around me because I felt like they had it. They had the attention. I didn't even feel like I was beautiful. That's how much damage it caused for me. The good news is that, yeah, I worked on it and I'm better now. But one thing I also know is that a lot of us were not privileged to even understand that this was what happened to us. Now, self-perception is a crucial aspect of our lives that would shape our identity, shape our behaviors, and also shape our relationship with the world and every other person around us. If you do not have a healthy self-perception, trust me, it would show forth in how you relate with people. Most of us are very aggressive in nature, and that's because we're trying to protect something. Most of us are very quick to say yes to people. We find it difficult to say no. Most of us are just very, timid, and you can see that these things limit you in a certain way. A lot of us have lost life-changing opportunities because we just did not see ourselves to be competent enough to meet up to expectations, right? We just don't see ourselves as deserving of certain things. The wrong self-perception is the same thing that would make a lot of us to get into relationships that we don't deserve. You know that you deserve a better man. You know you deserve a better woman, but because you don't see yourself in a better light, you just stick it up with whoever comes your way. You even feel so grateful that people love you, when in fact, you should be in charge of whoever comes and goes out of your life. It is because you have a bad self-perception. Now, it is bad enough that you have allowed the wrong perception you have about yourself to limit the level of expression you give to your life. It is bad enough that you have missed out on a lot of opportunities because you have a wrong self-perception. The question I would like to ask you is, would you want to learn how to change this perception? Because I want to teach you how to have the right self-perception. Now, the first way to build a good self-perception is to practice self-compassion. I get it. You don't see yourself in a better way. You don't like yourself. You're too hard on yourself. But I want to tell you something. If you can be gracious to other people, if people can hurt you and get away with it, if you can say yes to people without even considering if you're saying no to yourself, if you can always make excuses for people, if you're always quick to say, oh, just leave him, it's okay, it's just a weakness. What about yourself? A lot of us invest our energies in a lot of people around us that we neglect that we are also human. Most of the times we make mistakes and we forget that we're humans. And so we are so hard on ourselves. We don't even expect that we can make mistakes. Like you're so hard on yourself and you hate yourself because you made a mistake. You hate yourself because you did something that on a normal day, other people would do it, and then you make excuses for them. What about you? You need to learn to be kind to yourself. If you can be kind to other people, you should be kind to yourself. If you can be gracious towards other people, you need to give yourself some grace as well. Practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself. Now, the first way to start this would be to recognize the fact that you, my darling, are human. And then as a human, you have your strengths and your weaknesses as well. As much as you should be proud of your strengths, it is also important to know that your weaknesses are the things that you also have to work on. However, you need to also learn to be kind to yourself. You need to also learn to give yourself some grace. You need to understand that your weaknesses are your weaknesses. And it does not mean that when you fail, that you should kill yourself or be too hard on yourself. You need to understand that you're a human and humans make mistakes as well. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has life all figured out. Nobody has everything excellent every time. Even the best people on earth, even the people you admire, have weaknesses. So you need to let yourself be, let yourself rest, give yourself some grace, be kind to yourself, treat yourself well. Acknowledge that you're a human being. Acknowledge that you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be kind to. You deserve to show yourself some love. If you can do it for other people, then you can do it to yourself as well. Whatever you've done in the past and you're not proud of, you can make a message out of every mess of your life. Okay. And that is something that has held a lot of us bound because you keep on dwelling on this mistake. You see yourself as a disappointment to yourself or your family, and then it keeps making you not move on with life. You see opportunities, you're still held bound by your mistakes. It is time to let go. You have to let go. If you don't do this, you will never have a good perception about yourself. So show yourself some self-compassion. The next way to build a good self-perception would be to focus on the positive things. Now, I believe that you and I have positive part of our lives and the negative part of our lives. It would be nice of you to focus on the positive things about you a lot of the time, because this will help you to be more optimistic about life. It will help you to not be limited by the negative part of your life, right? A negative part of your life might be that, oh, you come from a poor background, or, oh, you were maybe molested as a child, or you were verbally abused as a child. But the positive part about this could be that now you see yourself the way God sees you. So this also would need you to have some paradigm shift, right? It would need you to change the information you have about yourself. So if you're going to achieve this, I would also refer you to the Bible. You need to read up what God says about you. That will help you to change the way you see yourself or the way you perceive yourself. The Bible refers you as the apple of God's eyes. The Bible refers you as that person that was worthy of God sending his son to come die for you. That's how much important you are to God, and you treat yourself with so much disrespect. If you do not have the right knowledge about yourself through the lenses of God's word, the devil will definitely feed you with the bad knowledge about yourself through his lenses. So at the end of the day, you're seeing yourself through the lenses of the devil instead of the lenses of God's word. God's word is so promising, and it is one thing that will help you to change the way you see yourself. You are beautiful. You are outstanding. You're the best of your kind. You are the apple of God's eyes. Another thing you can do to help back this up will be to focus on your achievements. Most of us are so good in watering down some achievements we've accomplished in life, and as such, you don't even celebrate it. What exactly is the color of your problem? Look, whatever achievements you've made in life, I don't care how small it is, I don't care how little you think it is, or how insignificant you term it to be, it is worth celebrating. You need to cultivate a positive mindset by celebrating your little achievements and focusing on the little things you love about yourself. The next way to have a good self-perception would be to challenge your negative thoughts. I know a lot of us are victims to that. You have this negative inner monologue. You know, that voice that will remind you that you're just useless, you're nothing, you don't deserve anything good. Challenge these negative thoughts with the evidences you have. that can reframe these thoughts or that are contrary to these negative thoughts, right? If the devil reminds you that you are nothing, remind him that you're something. You're that important to God that he had to send his son to die for you, right? Challenge your negative thoughts, because when you entertain these negative thoughts, they will drown you. And before you know it, you start acting or believing whatever that inner monologue tells you. You cannot challenge these negative thoughts if you don't have positive thoughts about yourself, right? So you could even read some affirmations to yourself to help you build, more positive thoughts. When that inner monologue tells you, oh, you're ugly, you tell yourself you're beautiful. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. I'm the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life. Right? When that inner monologue reminds you that you're incompetent, remind yourself that you're competent. Reframe it. Say things contrary to, like, counter these negative thoughts about yourself. That way you would gradually see yourself in a better light and build a good self-perception. The next thing to do to build a good self-perception would be to surround yourself with supportive friends, right? Now, I always say that your friends should have at least 50% of your character, right? Even if they don't have it. But let your friends be friends that would help you to get better in your life. Let your friends be those ones that when you are drowning in your negative thoughts and you share with a friend, that friend can remind you of how special you are. That friend can remind you of how beautiful you are. That friend can help you to think of yourself in a better light, right? So ensure that you have friends that are supportive, friends that are very positive minded as well. Because if you have friends that are negative minded and you're trying to get yourself to see yourself in a better way or to have a good perception, guy, girl, that friend or those friends will not help you at all, because it takes two to tango. You have to have friends that are on the same journey with you to be able to succeed in certain things, right? So do yourself a favor. Have friends that can uplift you when you're down. Have friends that can motivate you when you're demotivated. Have friends that can push you when you're tired. Have friends that can help you to just pull through life. Life is so demanding, and a healthy support system would help you go through life without you breaking. If you have friends that have a healthy self-perception and you see them affirm themselves, or you see them, position themselves for awesome opportunities that they think they deserve, you'll be challenged to do more for yourself. You will be challenged to speak well of yourself. You'll be challenged to put yourself in any opportunity that you think you deserve. That's what good friends do to you. So look at your friends that you have and find out if they are doing you good or not. Okay? Another way to have a good self-perception would be to take care of yourself. And this is not about you taking care of yourself physically. I'm talking about mentally as well. Your mental health is very important. And that's one of the things that we really don't put a lot of focus on. We don't even pay attention to it. Mental health issues are real. Dress well, look nice, smell nice, just be your best every time. Of course, it helps you to feel good about yourself. But much more than that, take care of yourself internally. Take care of yourself mentally. Ensure that your mental health is not at stake. Ensure that you're not surrounding yourself with toxic people that would make you break down emotionally. Take care of yourself physically by getting enough rest, by eating well, exercising, taking walks. Take yourself out if you want to take yourself. Just do whatever that you should do. Have a skincare routine, like whatever you think you would feel good doing, just do it. It will help you to just have a good self-perception. There's something it does to you psychologically. You have no idea until you try it. I have tried it, countless times. When I was a tomboy, it reflected on my outfits, on, how the way I dress, right? However, when I started changing the way I saw myself, I started embracing my femininity. Oh, I became so feminine. I started loving my voice. I started loving my feminine nature. I started loving the fact that I'm fragile. And now that's the most thing that people admire about me. They always say, oh, you're classy. Oh, you're so feminine. You have this grace. Yeah, because I had to change the way I saw myself, and I had to reflect on the things I didn't like about myself before. And now I'm allowing myself to just be expressive of who I am. And I dress the part. I look the part. I treat myself like the part. That way, I'm feeling good. When I dress well, I feel good. That's what happens to you too. Take care of yourself. You will feel good. And as you're feeling good, it also affects you psychologically and mentally. And you start, thinking good about yourself. You start seeing yourself like a princess that you are. Okay? Now, another thing I would say that can help you to build a good self-perception is to seek professional help. The truth of the matter is that most of the damages that we have, were done to us as kids. So there is childhood trauma. You can go for therapy if you need to. In Africa, we don't really pay attention to therapy because we think it is so cringe. Like, how do you want to go and talk to somebody about your problems? But therapy is so helpful, right? Because it will help you to identify certain things that pose as trauma to you. Because you're products of nature and nurture. There are certain things that happen to you as a child that has affected the way you see yourself. Therapy would help you to address these wounds and heal from them. A lot of us are still battling with, this hurts, this scar, and we keep saying, oh, I'm fine, I'm strong, I'm independent. A lot of us are too independent because of trauma. I am talking from experience because I am quite independent, right? And I am still very independent. I don't know how to depend on people. And that's because, I had to adjust to adulthood quite early, right? I didn't really have anyone be there for me as much as I would as a child. And it helped me to become so emotionally strong, right? No one helped me to learn how to process my emotions. So now as an adult, I figured that it was always, hurting me. I didn't know how to articulate my feelings except for journaling, which helped me a lot more. I started journaling and it helped me to articulate my feelings and give it expression. I had a lot of panic attacks most of the times, and I didn't even know who to talk to. I was having insomnia. Oh Lord, it was a lot to deal with, right? Childhood trauma is really, really that damaging. And if you do not go for therapy, and if you do not own up to the fact that you even need help, you can't get the help you need. In the society today, we have a lot of damaged adults. You see a young girl that is so independent, that is so classy and beautiful. But what you do not see is a little girl that was damaged, that was molested, that was hurt, that was violated, that was abused, crying for help. But because we've maxed up with, that makeup and that good hair and that's, classy vibes and everything, you don't see it. But amidst you trying to show off as a strong girl, you need to pay attention to that little girl that was hurt and heal that girl. Else you cannot move on with life. You cannot have a good perception about yourself. The same applies to that macho man you see, that huge, strong, toned up man that is acting like he's strong, that doesn't want to cry. Inside that man is a little boy that did not learn how to articulate his feelings or his emotions early enough as a child. Why do you think a lot of men say things like, man up, you shouldn't cry, you're a man up? That's the society that trained them. They don't know that it is not bad for a man to be emotional. It is totally okay to be emotional as a man. But because we've been in a society where a man is portrayed in a certain way and a woman is portrayed in a certain way, we are dying. We are limited. We have a lot of emotional breakdowns. We have a lot of mental breakdown, and we have no idea where this is coming from. You need to take care of that inner child in you. That inner child needs to heal before you can become the best version of yourself. And aside you going for therapy, another thing I would advise you to do is to give God a chance. The truth of the matter is that God heals you in ways that you don't even understand, right? Let me open up a little. Last year was very traumatic for me. In fact, I spent the last 2 years of my life healing from trauma, losing my dad and then work toxicity and then heartbreak as well. It was a lot for me to deal with, right? So, and everything happened within a short period of time. So it was just a lot to deal with at the same time. And girl, did that hit me so hard. It did, right? But one thing I noticed is that late last year, I just really talked to God and I was open to him healing me. I was very sincere with that prayer and I told him, I just want him to heal me. I can't exactly say what is wrong with me because I had a lot of panic attacks. I had a lot of emotional breakdown. I would be crying and I wouldn't even know what was making me cry. I craved and yearned for my dad's presence a lot of times, but I had to start learning to see God as a father. And that helped me. And the truth of the matter is that within the past few months, I have been happy. Like genuinely happy. So certain kind of healing you will need will require you giving God a chance in your life, because these things are very deep. I need you also to remember that self-perception takes a while to build, so don't rush it. Do not give up on yourself. And the truth of the matter is that it won't happen immediately. It will take you a long time to build, because you're talking about something that you've had for 20 years, for 15 years, for 30 years. It's not going to just go away within, a twinkle of an eye. You have to give yourself some time, right? It means that you have to practice continuously. Even when you fail at it, you have to start all over again. When you start having a good self-perception, you will notice that the way you give expression to your life, to your potentials, to your talents, everything will change. You will see, it will be very evident. It will be obvious. So try these things. And if you have any comments, please do well to drop it on the comment section. If you have enjoyed this video so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. This will help the YouTube algorithm to boost my video much more, and share it with people that would need this kind of content. Okay. On that note, I love you to the moon and back. Stay fabulous, and I love you.